I Don't Get It
Podcast. All right, guys, welcome to the I Don't Get It podcast. This is Naz.
This is Ashley.
And instead of Lauren, we have...
This is Jared.
Yay! And we also have another special guest who is...
Dr. Mike Dow.
Oh, my God.
It's the Dr. Mike series.
God, we're so excited. So if you remember, last time we had Dr. Mike on, we floated around the idea of Dr. Mike hypnotizing Ashley and Jared, because Ashley, you've never been hypnotized, right?
Yeah, and I doubt, but I don't want to put too much doubt out there. I'm a very positive thinker, but I do have to say I have doubt that I can get under the hypnotizing spell. And even more than I doubt myself, I doubt my fiance. Because this man is very anxious, very much in his own head at all times, doesn't let go.
Uh-huh.
So we'll see. I'm very curious.
Would that cause an obstacle of being under hypnosis?
Well, it's actually a great person for hypnosis, because hypnosis is great for anxiety and stress. But if you are so wound up that you don't want to be hypnotized, then it can be an obstacle sometimes. But if you actually want to be hypnotized and you want the stress or the anxiety to go away, then it's actually incredibly effective.
Yeah, so I
Interesting.
doubt
Yeah.
it for me, but I want it.
All
And then
right.
for Jared, I hope you want it.
I don't know what I want. I will say I am a little bit of a skeptic.
Okay.
So whether it be hypnosis or obviously this is a different field, but what am I thinking about when you're able to talk to the dead?
Mediums.
Mediums. I'm just a skeptic in all facets of life, really.
Uh-huh. So
it should be
let
interesting.
me ask that to you. What do you think of when you hear the word hypnosis? Is it sort of Vegas? Like, what is your preconception?
David Copperfield.
Honestly, I think of Vegas.
Really?
Honestly, what my first thing comes to mind is the yo-yo, going back and forth and just staring at
Pocket
it.
watch?
The pocket
Get Out.
watch.
Yeah.
Yep.
Get Out, the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that makes me think of hypnosis.
The sunken place.
Sunken place. What is Jared's sunken place?
I think
Jared, you live
about
at the second
my
place.
senior year of high school. We had a hypnotist come for my end of the year party, or like graduation party, and I peed my pants, honestly, in the middle of the auditorium, laughing so hard at my friends on stage that were being hypnotized. They thought they were chicken.
Yeah.
They thought they were cows. They thought they were Britney Spears, and they were performing for us. I thought it was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
I
in my
have
life.
to say, I think every fucking public school had a hypnotizing
know.
person
For
come,
sure.
because we had that too, and I was one of them, obviously.
Really?
And I feel like I just played along with it. But that's not the type of hypnosis that, right? That's such a different type
Yeah,
of
what do you think of
hypnotizing.
hypnosis, Dr.
What
Mike?
is the definition of it?
So that is stage hypnosis. So I use clinical and medical hypnosis to help people overcome phobias, treat medical conditions like irritable bowel syndrome, migraines.
Irritable bowel syndrome with
and
hypnosis?
In study after study in these medical journals, it's more effective than prescription medication for a lot of these conditions. So it is really incredible what the subconscious brain can do. So in the book, you'll see my own brain scans, and you see in a SPECT scan, which shows how my brain changes while under hypnosis, how my brain changes in terms of blood flow, and then an EEG, which shows the brain wave changes in activity of my brain. So you can kind of see that there's a hard science behind this. But yeah, the stage hypnosis, listen, there are some people who go on stage and they just want to please and make their friends laugh.
Right.
That being said, there are some super hypnotizable people. So what stage hypnotists do, they use these tests in the audience to find the most hypnotizable person who's out there, and they pick that person to come on stage. And those people can actually do some pretty crazy things, like bark.
Yeah, it makes them
The
bitch,
girl that was
you know?
hypnotized, I forget her name, but she was like, you didn't have to know much of her to know that she was the most hypnotizable kid of all 500 kids in my class.
Yeah, yeah.
much about her.
And she, there was 9 kids up there, and I think he kept eliminating the ones. Some of them were lightly under the spell, and then at the end, it was just something show. And she was doing this whole performance, and we were like, yeah!
What makes somebody hypnotizable?
Well, there are a lot of different things. There are some genes that we've discovered in research that make somebody more hypnotizable. If you are an imaginative, artistic type, you're more likely to be hypnotizable. People who are very intelligent. If you're the kind of person who can get lost in a screenplay or a novel or a movie, that's a type of trance because you are somewhere and then you're going somewhere else in your mind's eye, which is that's essentially what hypnosis is.
So
right?
what you're saying is, if I don't go under hypnosis today, I'm a boring asshole. That's what you're saying.
That's not true.
People who are easily
You
Put
said
in a trance.
artistic or
Artistic,
intelligent.
creative.
What about daydreaming? Because I used to be
yeah.
very daydreaming until I met him, because I used to just daydream about how my life would be with a future husband, whoever he may be. And now that I found him, I don't daydream as much.
I daydream all the time.
But
you?
if you used to daydream, daydreaming is a type of trance.
Yeah.
So you're already hypnotizable. So
Okay.
that's good.
Is daydreaming like being under hypnosis?
It is. It is sort of a very light trance because you're going somewhere else in your mind's eye. And that's essentially when I'm telling you to do something, you're going to the place that I will tell you to go, which is essentially what you're doing when you're daydreaming, right? Like your body's here, but your mind is going off to like a beach or something. So that's what you do with hypnosis.
So go ahead.
I was just going to ask, what's a mind's eye exactly? Because I hear that expression all the time.
Yeah, so it's basically just closing your eyes and then your occipital lobe in your brain sort of lights up this in the back of your brain. So even though your eyes are closed, there are some very fast beta brain waves in the occipital lobe, which is interesting because usually when your eyes are closed, that part of the brain should shut down. But with hypnosis, when you start to visualize things, that part of the brain lights up. So you are actually tricking the brain into thinking that it is seeing anything that you are picturing, using your mind.
Yeah.
Is that kind of how virtual reality works?
Yeah, I often say, in the book, I often say that hypnosis is essentially virtual reality using the subconscious
your
brain.
What is your book called, Dr. Mike?
Your subconscious brain can change your life.
And where can you get it?
Amazon. It's in stock at most Barnes and Nobles. And
Oh my God, I saw you
drmcdonald.com.
sign a couple. You're so cute.
Yeah.
You're like Aziz Ansari when he goes to airports. He like always leaves little notes in his books. And I always open them to see if I can get a modern love with him.
That's so cute.
Or whatever it was called. Anyways, so for me personally, I'm curious to know, Ashley and Jared, and I'm going to step away once Dr. Mike does his thing. But so for me, I used hypnosis, when I was going through that really bad heartbreak, to basically visualize my ideal self and have more confidence within myself up here on this level, not the sunken place or whatever you call it when you go under hypnosis. And Dr. Mike also helped me recover from having severe anxiety when I go to Dodger Stadium. So what he would do with me is I would picture my most ideal confident self at Dodger Stadium. And then once I saw it, like the picture I made in my head, I was like, oh, I can do that.
Right.
That is, do you know what I mean? And so then that is
Isn't
how
that
it
kind of
helped
like
me.
the power of positive thinking, though?
No, because you're seeing it. You're creating the picture in your head while he's guiding you to make the picture. So it's not like me doing it on my own. Because I can just tell myself, that's like the thing that's annoying when you have a lot of anxiety, when people are like, well, just don't be nervous. And I'm like, it doesn't work like that. It's almost like this evil thing in me that's working against me, and I don't know how to stop it.
But
That's interesting.
Me.
But Jared, I hear your question. So you're asking, like, isn't it just like imagining something? And there was this really interesting study that they used MRIs to do, and they had the subjects, they burned their hands with something that was actually hot, and then they had them imagine something, just like, okay, imagine that this is burning your hand, and they scanned their brain, and then they put them in a hypnotic trance, and then they said, okay, now imagine it. When you were in a hypnotic trance, their brains lit up as if they were actually being burned, but that was not true when you just imagine it in a conscious state. Wow. So, to your point, when she was seeing
like
herself it is like a dream because you're using the theta brainwave, which is what you see, which is what you use when you're dreaming. So when Naz was seeing herself in Dodger Stadium and confident and as this host and announcer, it's very different. It's sort of imagining times 100 on steroids.
Okay, it was like an augmented reality of myself. I'm going to interrupt this fabulous podcast to tell you guys about my new favorite earbuds, which are these wireless earbuds from Raycon. So let's be real. It's 2019. No one has headphones with wires in it anymore. If you're listening to this podcast with wire headphones, it is time to change, because literally when I wear my old wire headphones, people look at me like I'm weird. And having wireless earbuds is just such a game changer. Everyone needs a great pair of wireless earbuds. And before you go dropping hundreds of dollars on a pair, you need to check out the wireless earbuds from Raycon. They're about half the price of any other premium wireless earbud on the market, and they sound amazing. Sound is so important to me, especially when I'm like working out and I picked a specific song for my run, and I had wireless headphones in the past that just like didn't sound good, and I'd have to push them in to like really hear the sound or a podcast I was listening to. But now with a Raycon E50 wireless earbuds, it's totally changed my life. Like everything sounds so crisp and clear. And the company was actually co-founded by Ray J, and celebrities like Snoop Dogg are already obsessed with it. And unlike some of your other wireless options, Raycon earbuds are both stylish and discreet. Again, no dangling wires or stems. I'm not a fan of the stems. And of course, they don't just look great, they sound great too, like I was just telling you guys. So Raycon offers their wireless earbuds for everyone in a range of fun colors and at an unbeatable price. If you guys want to try them out, go to buyraycon.com and use our promo code GETIT20 to get 20% off your order. That's promo code GETIT20 at buyraycon.com, BUYRAYCON.com for 20% off Raycon wireless earbuds. If you've been eyeing a pair, now is the time to get an amazing deal. One more time, buyraycon.com, promo code GETIT20.
So Naz, I want to know what you felt like under it. Did it feel like the high school graduation party?
No, it's like, to me, and I can only speak to my experience, it's nothing like that at all. Like I was completely
you're out of
sitting
your
there.
body. You don't think you're Britney Spears.
No, it's you're not even trying to be someone else. You're just kind of really trying to really see yourself, I think, for who you really are.
The best version of yourself.
Best version of yourself, which I don't know if you would have an issue with, Ash, because you're pretty confident in general. But again, hypnosis is used for a lot of different things.
Yeah.
That was like the reason why I needed it.
Yeah.
You know? You'll need it for something else. For example, Jared, you could use it for your fear of flying, I would say.
Yeah, but
Oh,
fear of flying is something like, I know I'm scared of flying, but it's not something I was born with. It's something that was developed, and I understand that it's kind of like a conscious choice. Like, I understand when I'm sitting in the plane, like I'll be on a flight tomorrow, when I'm sitting there before takeoff, like I know I'm getting nervous, but I know I have control over my nerves, but I'm just unable to control them. But I know that it's a conscious choice. Does that make sense?
That's exactly how I was at Dodger Stadium. I know that I don't have to be nervous there. It's something inside you that's like annoying that you can't shake off
something-
in the
Exactly,
moment.
but I
something
think
happen?
I could if I could.
No,
No,
nothing
I think it's
really.
just
He had a couple
more.
bad
I'm just a
flights,
paranoid human being in general. It's really pathetic. But
It's not.
but my point is, like, in that moment, I know that like the strength is within me to overcome this, but I'm not. I'm not like succumbing to it. Does that make sense? Like, I know I can do it, but I'm just not succumbing to the idea of actually doing it. Like, instead, I'll just stay in my
That's
little
exactly
bubble.
how I felt.
Yeah.
I'm like,
But-
I know I can do this without my heart beating a million miles an hour. I've done it.
So I guess maybe my idea of hypnosis is just different because, like you guys said, my idea of hypnosis is going on stage, you know, and whatever chickens do.
Right.
Yeah.
Chucking? Chuckling?
Clucking.
Clucking.
Chucking. I think that's what you
like
do
a
to
chicken.
oysters. Oh no, that's
You shuck.
shucking.
You
Oh,
shuck an
fuck,
oyster.
I'm such an
Shuck
idiot.
corn.
I just said
Oh,
chuck
is that what
to
it is?
chickens,
Wait,
so
you
you're not
shuck-
the idiot on this
you
podcast
shuck
right now.
corn and oysters?
Okay, so the other day on the Wind Down podcast, that's Janet Kramer and her husband Mike have a podcast where they legitimately just talk about their marriage problems for an entire hour. So Jared and I took over, we replaced them, and we talked about our relationship issues, like calm adults, for about an hour. So we thought that we'd kind of roll it over. You guys can totally check that out. It's the Wind Down podcast with iHeart. And we thought we'd roll it over into here and to see what we would say about our issues under the influence of hypnosis. You can also throw in his fear of flying.
That sounds terrifying. That's
So like,
like
what?
that.
That's what I'm. So my biggest question is: am I going to say something under this influence that like I'm going to be so embarrassed that I said on mic?
You're not going to say anything embarrassing, but what
But am I
I
going to have
find
control over what I say?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, it's
absolutely.
not. I think that what I've learned from this mini conversation, and then I'll let you take over, is that it's hypnosis of what we've known it growing up in the movies, in the media, the stage. That is not what this is. You're here, you're sitting, you're Ashley, you know what's going on. You're just kind of thinking, Dr. Mike's helping you think of things that you wouldn't think of on your own sitting on the couch and picture things that you wouldn't picture on your own. And that's what medical hypnosis is. This
Okay.
isn't like, Ashley, go to the fridge and take the milk out and like you're sleepwalking. That's not what this
But
is.
could you do that, Dr. Mike? Because that would be
I
funny.
mean, I guess I could, yeah.
But
my
you would
colleagues
know
would kill
you're
me.
doing
but-
it. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be like, you wouldn't be like Frankenstein, like against your own
What
will.
is interesting that sometimes,
Right?
you know, yeah.
Am I wrong
Yeah,
in
no,
this?
no,
Okay,
you're absolutely
please
right.
correct me. I don't wanna,
But you know what is
uneducate.
interesting?
Yeah, Naz, let the professionals speak.
Sometimes with couples, with the help of their subconscious brains, they find something that they weren't aware of that explains something that is a problem in their current relationship, something deeper that they weren't really conscious of, right? It was in the subconscious. And we know that the subconscious has access to memories to a much greater degree than the conscious mind
So
does.
it wasn't just the laundry that annoyed me. It was
Right.
something deeper.
Sometimes. Sometimes.
Okay. All right. I'm very interested now. How do you best suggest we go about this? Should Jared and I be hypnotized at the exact same time, or should we both do it individually and listen to
Well,
the other
Jared
person?
sounds very specific, his goal in terms of fear of flying. So there's actually some very specific suggestions that I would give you.
All right,
so
great.
can I start with you?
Sure,
You wanna
let's do it.
flying?
Yeah, I think so.
But Ashley, you want to do it as a couple and do marital stuff, or
Let's do two.
okay?
I
Can
can
you
do it really
that one
quickly.
is Jared and then one is both?
Yeah,
then?
absolutely.
Okay, we'll
Yeah.
take up a lot of time. We got a whole podcast here. We
All
gotta
right, cool.
film.
Great. Perfect.
All right.
How are we doing
we
this?
turn
So
the
you
light
still
off?
have this, maybe a little dim lights. Okay, so Jared, I'm going to use this little device that's going to help you to go into trance a little faster. It's called audiovisual entrainment.
Okay.
So you're going to see some lights that are flashing in the frequency of theta, and you're going to hear some beats too. So I'm just going
Great.
to put
It feels
these
like I'm
on.
about to enter a club.
Yep, pretty much.
And we shouldn't talk throughout this whole thing, right? Dr.
Probably not.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to keep my eyes open during this. It's very bright. So what I'm doing is I'm wearing sunglasses right now with lights flashing
I've
towards
always
my
been
eyes.
scared of having epilepsy,
Can you
so
hear
I
that?
hope it doesn't show up now.
All right, there we go.
And then-
Are you gonna?
That would be
And
bad.
then close your eyes.
Am I getting like? Is this a joke right now? You're just going to start blasting
No,
hard rock
no
music
rock
in my
music.
ears. I have
So-
headphones on also for the podcast listeners.
So you're just hearing some things, and you're probably already going to notice yourself getting more and more relaxed. And it's kind of hard because you're sitting up close to that mic, but I want you to find a position where it's comfortable for you to relax more and more, deeper and deeper. And with the eyelids closed, I want you to first notice one color that's straight out in front of you. And then on the next inhale, I want you to roll the eyeballs up, 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 all the way up to the crown of your head, and then hold the breath, hold the breath, hold. That's right. And now exhale and let the eyeballs float down, down, down. And now ride that breath down like you're riding an elevator down 12, 11, 10. 10, deeply, deeply relaxed. 10, 9, 8, 8, deeper and deeper. And you can go deeper, deeper, 8, 7, 6, actually feeling yourself moving down in this elevator, 6, 5, and 4. You may become twice or even 3 times more relaxed on every floor you go. 4, 3, 2, 1. 1. 1. And now, Jared, you can see and hear the elevator doors opening and seeing and visualizing yourself walking out into a place and a memory. And I don't know what memory your subconscious is going to help you to find, but this will be a memory that helps you to feel supremely calm. I don't know who you're with. I don't know what you're doing, but you can see it so clearly. And you can really imagine that feeling in a way that perhaps feels deeper or different than just imagining it in a conscious way. And you can notice what it feels like in the body to feel this relaxed and this calm and this comfortable and this carefree. And isn't it so nice to know that you just cultivated that sense of carefree, cool comfort, really trying on that experience? And really noticing what that feels like. That's right. That's right. And already your breath and your breathing has become slower and more regular. And already I see it's moved down from the chest down into the belly. an indication that some part of you has already begun to relax. So I imagine that you have found this memory that has helped you to remain calm and cool and comfortable. And now in your mind's eye, as you take that feeling with you, rewind the tape, finding the first memory of the time that you were scared of flying. That's right. I don't know what time, what day, how many years ago that was. But you can see it so clearly, like you're seeing it on a movie screen. That's right. And now you're going to play that scene from the start to finish, only you're going to play that scene in black and white. On 3, 2, 1. And holding that feeling of feeling so cool and calm and comfortable. And now rewind that. And now play it forward again, only this time mute the volume so it's black and white and it's muted. And now rewind. And now minimize the screen like it's a picture-in-picture. And the picture is only 2 inches long in the top right corner. Now play that forward. And now play it back. And now this time I want you to zoom in, only noticing the things that you do on that plane to help you to feel so cool, so calm, and so comfortable. Playing that now and maximizing that in full color. Turning up the volume on everything that you do to help you to remember how comfortable and courageous that you are. Pressing play now. And I don't know exactly what you saw or what it feels like to see that. But now in your mind's eye, you're going to travel forwards in time. And now, like you have an iPad in front of you, you'll see yourself on tomorrow's flight. And like it's a crystal ball that's going to show you something unfolding, you'll see one change, one small change, or perhaps a significant one, a small or a significant change of something that you will do differently. And this change will feel easy. And I'm not sure if it's the fact that you can access that part of you that feels cool and carefree and so comfortable when you access that plane. But you can see it so clearly now, can't you? And now as I count backwards from 5 to 1, you'll deepen one more time so that these suggestions will be planted deep into your subconscious. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The sound of jet engines reminds me of how courageous and carefree I am. The sound of jet engines reminds me of how courageous and carefree I am. The sound of jet engines reminds me of how courageous and carefree I am. I've done so many things in my life. I've done so many things in my life. I've done so many things in my life. Flying planes is easy. Flying on a plane is easy. Flying on a plane is easy. It's so easy for me to stay relaxed. It's so easy for me to stay relaxed. It's so easy for me to stay relaxed. And I don't know when you'll notice that something small or significant has already changed thanks to the help of your subconscious brain, whether it's on tomorrow's flight when you board that plane or sometime in the middle of that flight. But at some point, you will notice that something has begun to change, and those changes will begin to unfold more and more in each and every way in each and every day. And now you're going to see that elevator that brought you here, knowing that each time you use this practice, if you listen to this podcast over and over again, that these changes will continue to improve, and you will grow more courageous and carefree and calm every time you use this practice. So now seeing that elevator that brought you down here, now becoming more alert. And you're going to feel so wonderful and so awake by the time I reach the number 12. 1, 2, 3 more awake and alert. 4, 5, 6. Feeling that energy return to mind and body. 7, 8, 9. Almost there. 10, 11. Eyes open. Feeling so wonderful. Carefree. Eyes open. 12.
How was it?
It was great.
Did you feel like you went into a different realm?
No, but I don't know if that was the intention of it.
Yeah. What did you feel?
It felt very calming. Especially in the parts imagining myself going down in the elevator, thinking of a memory that comes to mind.
What memory came to mind?
Wait, Ashley, let him talk.
It was a memory from, I was thinking of a time when I was a kid at the beach.
Are you lying to me? Was it about your ex-girlfriend?
No. Why would you ever say that?
I don't know. That was my fear, listening to that.
Oh, wow. That's a big fear.
That is so
I
weird.
just did not expect that to come out of your mouth.
I was like, what if his calming moment is that?
No, I was thinking of a time where we went to the beach. There's a memory. I don't know why, but I think it's because I would always go to the beach with my mom and sister, and my mom's best friend and her daughter. And then there was one time that my dad met us at the beach, and that was the memory I was thinking of. Because we were playing, he was throwing the football in the water, and I was in the water. It's a great memory. Anyway, and so I think the true testament will be tomorrow when I'm, practicing this and seeing how I feel in the moment.
Yeah. And, that's the thing.
You have a great voice, Dr. Mike, by the way. Good God.
Thanks.
It's very soothing. I could listen to it over and over again.
I'm glad. And that's the thing. I don't think hypnosis has to take you into some altered, crazy state where you feel like you're, I don't know, going to float away. I think it is that sort of calm state where you almost feel like you've had a glass of wine. So, it doesn't have to be this totally crazy state.
That's what I don't think it is. I think everyone thinks you go to another planet or something. I think you're fully alert, right, Jared? You were present, but you're also seeing an alternate version of yourself that's super calm.
Well, I think it's also, and I don't mean to make this very simplistic because I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but in the experience, a lot of it I felt like was distraction because in our everyday life, like Ashley said, there's a lot of times where I'm in my own head, which I'm assuming a lot of people are like as well. And with that particular moment, I wasn't, because you were making me think of memories and thinking about certain instances that happened in my life that I had to focus on. And it was calming because it's almost like you're focusing on something so you can really almost be have a clear thought process.
Yeah.
And so I think that's, I don't know, but
the subconscious is so suggestible, and it's sort of the don't think of a pink elephant. And so if we have so many negative things that are running around in our head, it's almost like that becomes a form of negative self-hypnosis. So it's almost like we have to start to plant positive things just to notice, oh, look at how confident you are. Look at how many things you've done. Look at how, it's almost like that is sort of rewriting the talk in our heads. Because I think a lot of us were programmed, for evolution's sake, to look for the things that could go wrong so that we don't die.
Yeah.
Essentially. So I think we actually have to use these skills to sort of do the opposite. So I'm excited to hear how tomorrow's flight goes.
Yeah, me too.
So I don't know how many of you know this. I've mentioned it on the podcast before, but I'm currently producing E's Met Gala show, which I'm so excited about because I'm obsessed with the Met Gala. It's my favorite red carpet ever. And I was doing some research on Anna Wintour recently and what she wears. And I read an article today, you guys, that said that Anna Wintour wants to dress more like Meghan Markle. And instantly when I saw that, I was like, we're going to see Anna Wintour in some Rothy's. I'm telling you guys, if you see it, I called it first. And are you guys ready to try on the most comfortable flat you've ever worn? That is Rothy's, that you can wear all day, every day for any occasion. Well, do we have something for you? Rothy's is basically the everyday flat for life on the go. It's stylish, classic, comfortable, and comes in 4 fashionable styles: the flat, the point, the loafer, and the sneaker for women and girls. And they have a cool color and pattern selection, which is amazing. They're always updating their lineup. They launch new colors literally every few weeks and sell out constantly. I'm not kidding you guys. You want to get your hands on these. And like I said before, they are royal approved. Meghan Markle slipped on her Rothy's on her recent Australian tour with Prince Harry, and they have been flying off the shelves ever since. I'm telling you guys, you're going to see Anna Wintour in them. And they're literally the softest shoe you'll put on your feet. So it'll blow your mind to know that they're made from recycled plastic water bottles. Rothy's has almost reached 20 million bottles recycled, which is insane. So not only are you looking fashionable, you're also giving back to the world. which is amazing. I love my Rothy's, and I know you will too. So right now, Rothy's has an amazing deal for our listeners. All you guys have to do is use our code GETIT to get free shipping with no minimum. That's free shipping and free returns and exchanges on your Rothy's shoe, and trust me, you won't want to return them. All you guys have to do is go to rothys.com, ROTHYS.com, and enter GET IT to get your new favorite flats and free shipping. This is a no-brainer. These shoes are comfortable, they're stylish, they're sustainable, and you get free shipping. So go get yourself a pair today. Rothys.com, promo code GET IT, and get this deal while it lasts.
So is me being hypnotized about relationship issues? And there's nothing like, we have issues like every couple does. It's not like we have to like get through things in order to get married.
Yeah.
But like, we talked about like his hatred for LA and how that affects his mood and how therefore it affects my mood.
Hatred.
And then we talked about, what else did we talk about? About you thinking that I'm a little bit more like my way or the highway, and like where that comes from. And I go, well, I would allow you to make more decisions if you weren't so indecisive and you pretended, like he pretends like he doesn't really have an opinion. But then later he'll be like, I actually wanted to do that, but then you went ahead and did something else. I was like, that's because you weren't clear with me, you know? So those were like our big issues. And so what do you think I'm going to get out of hypnosis with something like that? Or should we choose something else?
I have sort of a good, general, fun little hypnosis trick that I think I could do with both of you at the same time.
Let's do it.
Which could be kind of fun. And Naz, you could be my assistant observer here,
Okay.
if you don't mind.
And Naz, don't
can
be afraid to
observe.
narrate. Can she narrate during the hypnosis?
I don't like to. Should I?
Just for the listeners?
If there's something interesting that you see, you can
But
say
don't you
it
think
very
that would
calmly.
take you guys out of the
I don't know, would it?
hypnosis?
Sometimes it does.
Yeah.
Oh,
But I
well,
think
never
it
mind
does.
then.
No, but Jared brings up a good point. I think after we'll obviously, just like we did with Jared, we'll like explain everything that I saw.
Yeah. So
Are we good?
anything
You
you
guys
see,
explain.
just notice.
After
Okay.
you guys explain how
Are
you
we good
felt.
in the current seating arrangement? Or
Yeah,
has to
I
change?
think you're good.
And what do we do because we only have one pair of eyes?
We'll just skip it this time.
Yeah?
Because you don't need this.
I don't need this.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
So I'm going to have you both put your elbows on the table, and I'm going to
Is this gonna
have
be
them
safe?
sort of
Matter
resting
how.
like this.
Okay.
Like this. Yep. And then I'm going to...
What's like this? So their hands are
just sort of free.
Yeah, elbows
Yeah.
and palms on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to touch both of your wrists at some point. And just begin by taking a few deep breaths. And you can just sort of notice that the body can already begin to relax. And when you're ready to go into a deeper state, then you can allow the eyelids to close. That's right. That's right. Perhaps noticing how good it feels just to let everything go. And isn't it so interesting, and is it so nice to know that we didn't have to teach ourselves as infants how to relax or how to sleep? That is something that came so naturally and so normally. And I imagine that some part of you feels just a bit more relaxed than you did just a few minutes ago. Perfect. That's right. And then I'm going to take both of your wrists, and I'm going to just have you keep your arms straight out like this, and just hold them there for me. That's right. And now, like you did before, on the next inhale, I want you to roll the eyeballs up, up, up. Now hold the breath. Hold the breath. Look all the way up. Hold, hold, hold. Keep the arms where they are, and now let the eyeballs float down, down, down. That's right. And now imagine that you're gliding down an escalator with 12 floors, 12, 11, 10, becoming more relaxed on every floor. And you can allow yourself to just drift 10, 9, 8, becoming more and more dreamy, perhaps. 8, 7, 6. Isn't it so nice to know that you have this ability to relax? 6, 5, 4. Almost there now. You're doing so wonderfully already, and you've only just begun. 5, 4, 3, 2, next to last floor, 1, 1, 1. And now here in this relaxed state, in this state of hypnosis where you can use the power of your imagination and you can just allow yourself to imagine things vividly. And the more you just allow yourself to do things, things can just feel like they're happening. And so now you can imagine that I am tying a string on this hand. And you can imagine that this string is holding a balloon. And you can imagine that that balloon is filled with all of the love that you have for Ashley Jared and for Jared Ashley. And you can imagine now that there are 2 balloons. And many people say that in this state, it begins to feel that things can happen all by themselves. And you can imagine that all of the emotion, and in your mind's eye, you can think of all of the times that you've spent together. The time you knew that you were in love with each other. And it's almost as if all of those memories are filling 1, 2, 3, 4 balloons with helium. And that hand can feel lighter and lighter and lighter. And then on the other hand, you can imagine I just tied a string, and that string is holding a bucket, and in that bucket are insecurities and fears. And in your mind's eye, you can imagine in this relaxed state that that arm is becoming heavier and heavier. When you're ready to release those fears and those insecurities, that arm can become heavier. And you may begin to notice that that arm, that hand, feels just a little bit heavier than the hand that's floating. And when you're ready to go even deeper, that hand can float all the way down to the table. And you can continue here just seeing all of the fears, anything that's not serving you, whether it's those conversations or arguments about things where Jared wanted things to be a certain way but didn't say something and you have an argument about it. Or perhaps it's being in LA and the different ways the two of you feel about it. You can allow all of those past arguments go, putting them in that right bucket. And when you're ready to fully release them, you can imagine that that bucket is being untied. And all those fears and insecurities, even that insecurity, Ashley, about Jared's calming memory being about an ex, just letting all that go. And then you can imagine that as you fill this hand with helium and with love of all of the memories that the two of you have, as I let this hand go, it may feel a little bit different, as if it's easier than normal for this hand to stay floating out in space. And all of the love that you have for each other will continue to hold this hand up. And you can really, with your mind's eye, imagine that all of the love that you have in your heart for each other is holding this up. And you can imagine in your mind's eye that everything that you want in your future with each other, the best version of yourself to be the best version with your partner, is holding that hand out in space as I release it, becoming almost weightless now. That's right. That's right. And then as I count backwards from 5 to 1, that hand can drift down towards the table. And as it does, it will be like everything that you have done here will be wired into every cell and molecule and atom of your body, into your heart and mind and spirit. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you're going to see in your mind's eye something that you'll do just a little differently with your partner together. And I don't know what that thing is. I don't know if it's just a bit more patience. I don't know if it's speaking your mind in a way that's kind. But I think you both know, don't you? Yes, that's right. And now your subconscious is going to show you one thing that you will do differently to cultivate just a bit more love with each other. I wonder what your subconscious is showing you now. That's right. That's right. Perfect. And now I'll deepen you one more time so that these suggestions can be planted deep into the suggestible subconscious. Imagining yourself drifting deeper into trance now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm inherently lovable and I love my partner. I'm inherently lovable and I love my partner. I'm inherently lovable and I love my partner. We treat each other with grace and kindness, and this comes so easily. We treat each other with grace and kindness, and this comes so easily. We treat each other with grace and kindness, and this comes so easily. Our love grows each and every day in each and every way. Our love will grow each and every day in each and every way. Our love will grow each and every day in each and every way. And whenever you need to be reminded of this, in your mind's eye, you can see a color in front of you or a symbol or a shape. And I don't know if it's a pink heart or a memory of the two of you or something, a gift that one of you gave the other. But all of these memories, all of the love that you have for each other. And you can just be reminded of that. When you have an argument or a tough day with each other, all you need to do is be reminded of that. Be reminded of that. And all of these memories, all of this peaceful, relaxing feelings, and all of this love will come floating back. And now seeing that escalator that brought you here floating back up, your love stronger than ever. 1, 2, 3, feeling more awake and alert. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Eyes beginning to open. 10, 11, eyes fully open, awake, and alert on 12.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
How was it, Ash?
Well, I feel like it took me a while to get in there because my arms are so tired.
So for those that
But I
know,
will
Dr.
say-
Mike
Yeah.
raised both of our
Oh,
arms,
yes.
which is
Yeah.
But I will say that the arm that you said was supposed to feel heavier did feel heavier. And then when you lifted it up here, it was light for a bit.
Dr. Mike, can you explain like which arm went up when, just so people know like what was like going down?
Yeah, so, this is one of the ways that I can kind of see how hypnotizable somebody is. So this is one of the first things that a Vegas hypnotist will do. But it's also sort of interesting for me because I can use it to deepen somebody. And it's interesting because people will also see, especially if they've never been hypnotized, that, oh, something's happening. So when they start to feel like their hand is a little bit heavier, or like, oh, when he let go of my hand, it did feel lighter than it usually does. It's like a signal to that person that, oh, something's different, like something's happening, right? So I use it a lot. So I just hypnotized one of the hosts of Cheddar, and I mean, he was a super hypnotizable person. He'd never been hypnotized, and with the balloon stuff, his hand went like whoop, and he was like, what was that? That was crazy. So there's different levels in terms of, like the first time somebody is hypnotized, but it's an interesting little technique, a little trick to see how hypnotizable somebody is, but also it can deepen your trance, which is cool.
Yeah, actually, I definitely saw yours go like up and down. And then Jared, there was one
I
point.
think a lot of it in the beginning was because my arm was so tired. I
No,
thought
no,
I was too
it was like
focused
the
on
lighter one went up and the heavier one went down.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was like going down, down. You almost like hit the podcast thing. I had to like move it. And then Jared, there was one point where you were like smiling so hard, but I don't know what you were thinking about. But
Lois was growling.
Oh, is that what it was? So it didn't work on Jared.
No, it was. I was thinking about obviously the intimate moments that I've had with Ashley. And obviously things that I could do to better our relationship, even though it's already amazing. I don't want people to get the wrong impression. But no, those certainly things were going through my mind, both on the left side with the balloons of things that have, cultivated our love. And then conversely on the right hand, the bucket weighing it down at times.
What was the memory that you thought of when it was like a good memory?
Well, it was numerous memories. I was kind of.
There was like one moment where he said like,
Oh, at the end?
Yeah.
At the end where I said to sort of one thing that you would do differently?
Oh yeah,
That part?
Yeah, I was thinking of that. But there wasn't. When you said in the beginning, I was thinking of memories.
oh, at the
of times
end,
that
I
we've
thought
had.
you said, and now you see this time.
At the end, I was
specific
thinking
time.
thinking of an action I could do more of to better the relationship. Totally.
Okay.
And what was that? Was it something specific?
It was. Yes, it was something specific.
That smile means that there's something very specific that maybe you don't want to say on the podcast?
No, not anything. Ashley, we talked about
Ashley.
this on Ashley talked about this on Wind Down podcast that she wants me to be more touchy, and I find that I am touchy, but maybe not as much as I was in the very beginning of the relationship. So something I could
I
do
want
would
him to be
be
more romantically touchy. He likes to like tickle me and grab me and
Yeah.
slap
I love
my
tickling and-
ass, but I'm like, that's different than like
You want
and
like
I-
the
I
sweet,
hate the-
intimate touching.
Yeah, I hate like the word tender, but like I need like a little bit more of like a tender, gentle.
yeah. So that's what I was thinking of.
I hate to compare it to sports, but in many ways,
Please do.
You seeing that action in your mind's eye is not all that different than the Olympic diver who's picturing like the 3 somersaults he's going to do before he climbs the diving board, right?
Or like
So
Tom
for-
Brady going up to the line of scrimmage and
Yeah.
picturing who he's going to throw the ball to before he actually does.
Yeah, so I think all of us, we all benefit from picturing things, and then it becomes easier for us to do it in our waking, everyday, conscious lives, right? So it's, I don't think hypnosis is some crazy thing that's going to, change your life in an instant, in like 8 seconds, and then everything is just going to like magically change. I think it does take effort. It's willingness. You have to want to do the thing. It does take effort. I combine, my technique actually, it's a little bit more complex than what we just did. It combines some cognitive behavioral tools with the hypnosis too. So you put them all together, but all of that, and you can actually start to change your life.
Wait, Ash, what did you think of for that last memory?
Yeah, good question.
I thought about our first real date, not at the point where we were up in the hills and popping champagne, but when we
yeah, I
went to
thought of that, too.
when we went to the restaurant afterward, and you thought that I was a little tipsy.
Yeah,
Yeah, that part.
What's the name of the restaurant?
It's Olive and what's the olive?
Fig and Olive?
Fig and Olive.
Fig and Olive, yeah.
Fig and Olive. Yeah. That was a great memory. What did you think of when you thought you could better the relationship?
Probably something else I wouldn't talk about.
Well, Jared shared.
Interesting.
That's
Is it
true.
really-
Jared did share.
I would say like a little bit more like sexy effort.
It's very I would say that's a very common one.
Yeah.
Women want more romance, which I would classify you're wanting sort of touch from him as sort of romance and, sex.
Yeah.
Vice, the
What
other way
like
around.
basic advice do you have for like couples that are maybe going through a similar thing? Like, what do you tell couples that are going through that? Because I feel like that is really common. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of people have that.
Yeah, I think it is. I think that we have to really look at each other's love languages, and it's not sexist when we look at the male and female brains for women to want intimacy and for men to want sex. That being said, there's a lot of women who want more sex and men who want more intimacy. But when you can really look at what your partner needs and give them that and speak their love language and also receive love in the language that you need it, then you can have a really great relationship. And, I think the other thing that really works, and I think we don't do enough of it, and that's why I like this really simple but I think sort of profound exercise, is it's really easy when times are tough to forget about, you guys are not having a tough time, so obviously it's easier right now, but when couples are having a tough time, it's hard to remember all of the great things, right? So it's just nice to remember all of the things that made you fall in love and just really savor those memories, and then just see okay, what's one thing, what can I really see me doing to take our relationship to the next level, right? Because when we are hurt, we go right to, oh, well, he or she didn't do that, or I can't believe he or she did, right? And it causes this defensiveness, and that defensiveness prevents progress. So, I think this kind of takes away the layers of defensiveness, and it can help progress go in the right direction.
Well, Dr. Mike, thank you so much. This was fascinating. Can people listening to the podcast, if someone's going through an issue with a partner or a friend, can they listen back to what you just did to Jared, for example, if they're scared of something, or what you just did to Ashley and Lauren and kind of play
Ashley
along?
Lauren.
I mean, Ashley and Jared, sorry.
Yes.
With Ashley and Jared, and kind of play along, so to speak, to
Yeah.
kind of work through their own things? Or
Yeah,
do you think they
they
would need someone there to
Yeah, they absolutely can.
Okay.
So, you don't have to be in a room with somebody to experience hypnosis. In my book, I have audio tracks included. You get a little link. So there's all these different goals. So if your goal wasn't fear of flying, there's different audio tracks that are included in my book. But if your goal was, relationship building, you can absolutely rewind this podcast and go back to what Ash and Jared just experienced and do it for yourself and practice it and see yourself going down that escalator and imagine all the good things in your relationship. And especially, I think that's especially good to come back to this podcast when you've had a bad day and you're having a fight to oh, right, I am in love with my partner. I'm just
Right. I just got to tie 2 balloons to my hands and remember. Or a bucket and a
There's
balloon,
a couple
I guess.
meditation apps too. Is there one that you really like?
You should have your own, Dr. Mike.
Yeah, why don't you have your own?
Yeah, so
That would
I
make
like
a lot of
hypnosis. I really like John Kabat-Zinn. I think he has an app. I forget which one
But
his
your
is.
voice
But
is so good.
I know.
I like hypnosis because for me, I took a lot of meditation classes. For me, hypnosis is easier. That's just for me personally.
Yeah.
I'm super hypnotizable.
Yeah, and you're a
but-
psychotherapist, which is essentially what psychotherapists, one of the things they specialize in, right?
Yeah.
Is hypnosis. Yeah. So
But a
if you
lot
guys
of them
want to do that, try and
meditation
find-
too, and my brain is so all day long that it's
Yeah.
really hard for me to just gradually slow it, which is what meditation does.
Right.
My brain just needs to be shut down right now with hypnosis. Just go straight down.
Right.
When I think of meditation, I think of a little baby roller coaster, slowing it down. Hypnosis is the death drop. It just takes
it's a
you from
crash.
alpha all the way down to theta. And
0
that's
to
what
100 real quick.
my brain needs,
Yeah.
So, but
Well,
every brain is different.
You're the best. Thanks for coming on
Thanks
and
for
doing
having
this.
me.
And for you guys listening, I'm sure this was the OA version of a podcast. That's my favorite show on Netflix. It's just meaning in the sense where it's very.
what that is if they don't watch.
I'm about to say it's a very just unpredictable, spine chilling, weird fucking show, but it's so good, which is how I would describe this podcast as if you're listening along. Anyways, thanks, Dr. Mike. You're the best.
Always a
And
pleasure.
Thanks, Ashley and Lauren, for being our guinea pig.
what?
Ashley and Jared.
It's so-
Why
she's
do
so
I
used to
keep
saying Lauren. It's very-
Jared
That's
and Lauren,
what
they
it
have
is.
this,
That's
their
what it
voices are
is.
so similar.
And
Just
we
kidding.
just, we have
Nothing
similar,
alike.
similar
It's like when I'm
features.
sitting in this chair,
Yeah, I
and in
guess
front of
so.
a microphone,
Yeah.
I'm saying Ashley and Lauren. I'm Jared.
I
I'm
hypnotize
sorry.
you
Please
to
don't
believe that
apologize.
Jared
You
is
are
Lauren.
stunning in your own way.
I get confused for Lauren all the time, but you guys can go check out Dr. Mike's book, Your Subconscious Brain Can Change Your Life. Is it on Amazon?
It is.
Perfect.
And follow
Do
him
you
on
love
Instagram.
the way that Amazon takes 50% of your proceeds? Of your
They do?
It's
50%.
fine.
It's
okay.
Amazon, you know,
It's out
they're
the
a
window.
conglomerate. They're
It's
just
okay.
That happened with
I only
your
get
children's
I
book?
think they
That
take
sucks.
Just
my
Amazon.
I don't know. I get $1 a book, so I don't know.
Oh, great.
That's fine. I'll take
$1.
$1.
You're just doing the fucking Lord's work. All right. Well, we love you guys. Thanks. Subscribe, follow on Instagram. Bye.
Bye.
I don't get it.
Podcast. This podcast is brought to you by Wave Podcast Network. Check out all of our shows, including the Brain Candy Podcast, I Don't Get It, Coffee Convos, and Let's Talk About It.